Hello friends. Now today's topic for discussion is when is something called sovereign immunity, right? Now the point is, when is a state liable for the torts committed by its servants? When is a state not liable for the torts committed by its servants? Right. The state or government is vicariously liable for torts committed by its servants provided the following conditions are satisfied. Now, before I go any further, from today I will be explaining few things in Telugu also, and then I will repeat it in English. Right? The tort is committed by its servant in discharge of his or her duties, and the duties so discharged must not be under the delegation of sovereign power. This is when the state is vicariously liable. Now, when is a state vicariously not liable? The state or government is exempted from tortious liability or enjoys immunity for the torts committed by its servants, provided the following conditions are satisfied. 1. That the tort is committed by its servants. That the tort is committed in discharge of a statutory function, that is, in discharge of obligations imposed on him by law. The discharge of such statutory function must be in delegation of sovereign power. Therefore, the state to get immunity, there must exist sovereign power, discharge of duty by servant in delegation of such sovereign power. Now we will have a question: what is sovereign power? What is not sovereign power? To understand this, we have to read a case law, which is P&O's Steam Navigation Company versus the Secretary of State for India. In this case, the plaintiff's servant was going in a 2-horse driven carriage through Kidde Port Yard in Kolkata, dockyard. Due to the negligence of the defendant, dockyard's servant, an iron rod hit the plaintiff's servant and the horses, and the plaintiff was injured. In an action by the plaintiff, the defendant pleaded immunity on the ground that he was engaged in ship repair process managed by East Indian Company, which had sovereign powers. But Peacock CJ for the first time, Peacock CJ did not agree with it and held the defendant liable. The Supreme Court of Kolkata, it was Calcutta then, through Peacock CJ coined the principle of sovereign non-sovereign dichotomy by drawing a line between sovereign power and non-sovereign power. Though the crown was accorded sovereign state, though the crown gave sovereign status to the East Indian Company, shipbuilding or ship repairing was a commercial activity, and it can be carried on by a private person, and hence it is a non-sovereign act, and hence the defendant is liable. Now let's understand few case laws where non-sovereign power, where the state was held vicariously liable. One case law is Satyavati Devi versus Union of India. Some Air Force personnel were travelling in a vehicle to play football and basketball games. Right. Now, due to the negligence of the driver, death was caused to the plaintiff's husband. Delhi High Court rejected the plea taken by the government that such physical exercise was necessary to keep the army personnel trim in proper shape, and such an act should be considered a sovereign act. It was held that since the act of carrying teams can be taken up by a private individual also, it was not a sovereign function, and as such the government is liable. Now we will have one more case law. Just a minute. We'll come to a case now where compensation was rejected using the sovereign-non-sovereign dichotomy. There is the very important case of Kasturi Lal versus State of UP. The plaintiff's gold was seized by the police under the suspicion that it was stolen property. It was kept in police malkhana under the supervision of a head constable who misappropriated and escaped to Pakistan. In an action against the state, the trial court dismissed the suit and held the state not liable. On appeal, the Supreme Court, following the sovereign-non-sovereign dichotomy, upheld the decision on the ground that the police officials had acted in discharge of their sovereign function, statutory power of police officials in keeping the property in police malkhana was a sovereign power. Now, this view was followed by the Allahabad High Court in State of UP versus Torasiram. Now, let's come to a case law where compensation was granted. Srimati Basava versus State of Mysore. The facts of this case are similar to Kasturi Lal case. In this case, some ornaments and cash belonging to the appellant had been stolen. Some of these articles were recovered by the police and kept in police custody under the orders of a magistrate. They were kept in a trunk which was missing from police custody. It was held by the Supreme Court that the state could not prove that the property in question had been lost in spite of all due care and caution taken by the state or due to circumstances beyond its control, and therefore the appellant was entitled to receive 10,000 rupees from the state, which was equivalent to the amount of property lost. There is another case law. Right, where exercise of statutory power must be in delegation of sovereign power. Now, we have to note that the state does not get immunity if either of the above two conditions are absent. That is, first is exercise of statutory power must be in delegation of sovereign power. Case law is State of UP versus Unilever, Hindustan Lever Limited. It was Hindustan Lever way back in 1970s. Now it's Hindustan Unilever. Right. In this case, the plaintiff company instructed its bankers, Punjab National Bank, to pay excise duty of rupees 50,000 as in government treasury on their behalf. Later, the plaintiff came to know who is the plaintiff here, Hindustan Lever. Later, the plaintiff came to know that their account was not credited in the treasury due to misappropriation of funds by the treasurer and the accountant. In action by the plaintiff, the state was held liable on the ground that the first condition as to the act in exercise of statutory duty by the accountant is satisfied, since he was authorized to receive as per the treasury manual. Accountant. Regarding second condition, that is sovereign delegation, was not satisfied as it could be maintained by private individual also. Existing position in India. Now we will come to case laws where compensation was awarded. There are few cases. Rudul Shah versus State of Bihar. In this case, the petitioner Rudul Shah was acquitted way back in 1968, but he was kept in jail till 1982, 14 years after acquittal. The petitioner filed the writ of habeas corpus in the Supreme Court under Article 32. The court directed the government of Bihar to release him immediately and to pay exemplary damages of 30,000 rupees in addition to 5,000 already paid by the government, paid by the state. Sebastian M. Hongre versus Union of India. In this case, two persons were taken as to a military camp by Jawans of our army. The government failed to produce them when ordered to do so by the court. The Supreme Court awarded exemplary damages of 1 lakh rupees each to the wives of the said two persons for having undergone torture, agony and mental oppression. Bhim Singh was a state of Jammu and Kashmir. The Supreme Court awarded a compensation of rupees 50,000 against the state for the illegal detention of Bhim Singh, who was an MLA who was arrested while he was going to the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. There is another case law. Saheli, a women's resources center versus Commissioner of Police, Delhi. The Supreme Court awarded compensation of rupees 75,000 to the mother of a child of 9 years old on account of death of the child by beatings and assaulting by police officers. This is too much, boss. Right, we will come back with another case. And for people from Andhra, there's another case here. Challa Ramkonda Reddy versus State of AP. In this case, a person approached the court. The AP state government was asked to pay damages to the family of the person who died in jail, who died while he was in jail. The state took the defense that they took all the precautions that will be taken in a jail, but then the court did not agree to it and said that you did not act you did not give extra guards despite the person who was in jail requesting the government several times that he needs extra guards as there is a life threat to him, and unfortunately that person was killed. Right? State of AP versus Challa Ramkonda Reddy versus State of AP. Right, guys? We'll come back with another topic. Bye.